Coming to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas, this is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Good morning, Houston. Thank you for joining us today. It is Taco Tuesday. Man, I am excited.
It's National Taco Day, I think.
No, I think it's actually National Vodka Day. I read something about that. There's like all these like new holidays that keep popping up, right?
It's just an excuse for Americans to eat more and drink more.
Yeah, absolutely. So yesterday, I get home and I find out, I hadn't checked Facebook most of the day, and for whatever reason, I check it and I noticed that it was National Boyfriend Day, and there was like all of these pictures of girls putting up pictures of their boyfriends and whatnot. And I was pretty upset. I was like, hey, wife, it's National Boyfriend Day. Where's like my present and my post and all the other things that all the other boyfriends get?
Yeah.
And she was the one that was like, hey, listen, Facebook makes up a holiday every day. And it's so hard to keep up with that, But nonetheless, she made me an awesome dinner. So we still celebrated National Boyfriend Day, and it was good stuff. You know what's crazy though? So I woke up this morning, and I'm really not a morning person. You guys know that. I'm not naturally the kind of person that wakes up, like at super early and just ready to get the day started. I have to actually like prime myself up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get the good vibes going. I get the music going. I get Jim Rohn on. I get all these. There's all these things that have to happen for me in the morning so that I can leave the house like fully pumped and full of energy. And but this morning was different, man. I woke up in a cold sweat, just completely just drenched and disturbed. And you know what happened? I had nothing but nightmares last night about these crazy freaking clowns that are scaring everyone. I actually think it has somehow internally gotten to me. And so, the wife was like, hey, what's wrong with you? What's troubling you? And I was like, I actually dreamt about these clowns that are hiding in the woods. And so I think it all stemmed from some report or something that came out recently. Did you see that report?
Well, it said on there, I saw when it first started, and it started like in Alabama. I think that's why I read it. And they were like, clowns are hiding in the woods and scaring people, like random people. And then they came out and they said, oh, it's just friends, blah, blah, blah. But now they're actually beefing up security at elementary schools here in Houston.
Yeah.
Because the creepy clowns are going to the elementary schools and like trying to playfully lure kids into the woods.
There is no playfully luring kids. I want to just make sure that the world out there knows that if you want to dress up like a clown and playfully do anything near me and my kids, you're probably going to get shot. So, I've already warned you, careful out there. And here's the thing. I don't think it's funny if you're out there doing it. I know that it's probably a gag that maybe people are just jumping on, but it actually is pretty scary to some people. And at some point, somebody will get hurt. And that's when, what's going to hit the fan. Yeah. So we have to be a little more careful about that. Here's the thing. In October, my wife and I always complain about October because October is like the month where everything surrounds Halloween. Like we get a bunch of scary movies on, and we don't watch scary movies at the house. We don't do any of that. Brandon is like, what are you thinking?
I'm just not a big scary movie fan. Like to me, I don't want to go to the theater and be tense and stressed the entire time. And that's how I feel when I watch a scary movie. I feel like I'm constantly clawing at the chair, and I'm just like stressed. It's
some
no
people pay
fun,
for that.
Man.
Here's the thing: some people pay for that feeling.
I don't get it. It's not a thrill for me.
It's not a thrill for me. You know what I would rather pay for? I'd rather pay for some
tacos.
Awesome, tacos for sure. Tacos for sure. I was gonna say I'd rather pay to have some good weather and go out biking today, and that's actually on the books for today.
Oh, yeah.
I want to just go out and have a good time, and that's thrilling for me. Going out there and potentially falling and busting your what. I'm trying to keep my French down to non-French today, if you guys can tell. Have you noticed? So anyway, guys, we have a phenomenal show planned out for you today. We're excited to be here. Not only is it Taco Tuesday, and we're going to be celebrating in full force.
National Taco Day
It's
today.
National Taco Day. And by the way, towards the end of the show, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to upset everyone on
We're going to talk about places.
I'm going to tell you of a place where you should know, if you're from Houston, that has some of the best tacos in town, that just got 52 demerits.
Health violations.
Health violations.
Yeah.
And you're going to be upset when you find this out. Before then, we're going to get into what it takes to buy a house in Houston. We have some other really, really awesome reports to talk to you guys about, but I've run out of time, so we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll come right back.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepickettrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepickettrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value with dedicated professionals ready to serve. Contact them today at 832-675-6217.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can always find us on Facebook and chat live with us on Facebook Live through Alan Hernandez's account. You can also tweet us live at Realty Ruckus, and you can chat with us live on YouTube Live. All three methods, YouTube Live. Now, David is normally here, and I would normally ask him how the weather is. Now, unfortunately, David's not here, and I don't know
You would
how to...
normally be like, it's going to rain.
Yeah, but it's actually going to be pretty good weather this whole week. It looks like we're not going to get too much rain or not too much chances of rain. It's going to stay pretty dry out there, and the weather should stay in the mid-80s and in the low 60s at night. So it's going to be pretty amazing weather.
We have great weather.
Yeah, let's
coming
take
up.
advantage of it, because I think this is like the 2 or 3 weeks of actually decent weather that we'll get here in Houston.
We are doing everything we can to take advantage of this weather. First off, we have a family picnic planned for Team White Picket, Team WPR. So we have that lined up on the 15th or the 19th, I believe. We got all of that setting up as we speak. So we'll let the public know. If any of you guys are interested in joining us, we'll keep you updated on some of those events. But in the meantime, get out there and get out to some of these parks, man. I mean, I can't tell you how great it feels to get out to like Memorial Running Trail and just run those 3 miles. Or if you're into biking, you know, if you want to join Brandon and I, we're always out there when there's good weather. So let me know if you guys want to get out there and take advantage of some of this weather. Let's talk about what it takes. And here's the deal. And not everyone knows this, by the way. Like, it's kind of funny when you brought it up, baby, because unless you're lending side of real estate, you really don't know what it takes to live where. So let's say you decide, hey, I want to live in, you know, I don't know, the west part of town, the West Chase District, or the Heights, or I want to live in Memorial. How much money do you actually need to make as a household to live in certain parts of town. And it's one of those deals where you don't really know, you don't really keep up with it enough unless you live there, then maybe you'd understand that, right?
No, absolutely. It's one of those things where we know certain neighborhoods in Houston are expensive, or we assume they are, but we don't really know exactly what it takes to live there. And this is assuming that you're going to live in a house there in the neighborhood. So this is not you buying a condo. This is the single-family residential houses that they have there in these areas. And this is how much you have to make on an annual basis, household income, in order to be able to afford to live there.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to do a quick little test and see if any of our viewers know any of this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see if any of our viewers will help us figure this out without Googling it, by the way, and cheating. How much money does it take to live near Memorial Park? How much household income do you have to be able to live near Memorial Park?
Yeah, and I'm just going to give everyone a hint. I actually personally thought it was a lot more than this.
Me too. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, I when I first saw this number, I thought, oh, wow, that's actually reasonably affordable considering the class of houses that you have out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're so close to the park. You're close to Washington. You're close to everything really over there. I was really surprised. I expected to see a number closer to the $500,000 mark
Me
per
too.
year. And it's significantly lower than that. Has anyone figured it out yet?
Chris
or?
Johnson says, hey, what's up, Chris? Thanks for watching. Chris Johnson says 190K. He's actually really close.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That's very, very close. The number for Memorial Park is actually $221,571. You got to make the 571.
You know, if
also.
you would have asked me, and Chris, that's actually really impressive that you knew that. You must know some people that live there or maybe even live there yourself. I really thought it would probably be like 400 and up.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Because the houses there they're pretty expensive. They're big.
Yeah.
They're-
Well,
they're-
we've rehabbed a bunch of houses. We've sold a bunch of stuff out there. I
Yeah.
mean, we've sold stuff up in the 800 range easily, and so I can't imagine you can buy that with making that kind of money.
Well, here's one that would really surprise people. So the area called Timber Grove,
Yeah.
which is just west of the Heights.
Yeah.
It's one of, I mean, in my opinion, it's one of the nicest neighborhoods in Houston. It's not super fancy, but it's nice. And I was really surprised. You don't have to make a fortune to live there.
These numbers have to be off, man. I just don't believe any of this.
Well, this is just the average.
I mean, I
average
know what
home
houses
prices,
in Timber
yeah.
Grove sell for. All right, so let's see how much. How much income for a house in Timber Grove? Any guesses? I'm putting it up on the Facebook page. I'm actually
Yeah.
Facebooking as we're on the show today, by the way. How crazy. I can multitask. I just learned that.
Yeah, so surprisingly enough, Timber Grove and the Heights in general are really close in price, and you only have to have a household income of about $116,000 to live in Timber Grove.
Yeah.
That's really
That's what-
surprising.
That's what this report says.
Yeah, and then the Heights, they're claiming that you can purchase a property there for $118,000.
Well, they're saying that's what your household income.
Yeah, your
needs
household
to be.
income is.
It
to
must be
yeah.
like one of the smaller ones, though. You know,
Well,
like-
it's
like-
just average prices, so I'm sure that they didn't go in and remove investor properties or
Yeah.
anything. But I mean, it can't be that far off, you know.
Yeah.
And I actually know people who make some of these incomes, and yeah, this is what they spent, you know. Like Edo, for example, Edo, household income of $80K will get you into Edo, and that's actually true because I know people and represented buyers in that area who've bought, you know, those little 3-story townhomes,
Yeah.
220,000,
yeah, or those old small
250,000.
bungalows. that
Yeah,
are renovated.
exactly, and that's about what they're spending, somewhere between $200,000 to $300,000, and that's what they make, about $89,000 a year.
See, here's the thing. This report has to be right at the cusp of not being approved for the mortgage. It's got to be like at a 40% debt to income ratio or something crazy like that, because I don't see how these numbers actually match
Well,
up.
it also says here that they made an estimate that you'd be putting 20% down.
Okay.
So, and let's be honest here, almost nobody puts 20% down. There's mortgages that are, you got 5% mortgages, 3% mortgages, and
Yeah.
I've even heard of some lenders have programs now at 0%.
I've seen some 100% deals.
Yeah,
some
so
0%
I
down
mean,
mortgages.
you don't really have to put anything down these days to get into a property. You can, and so 20% is a big down payment, but still, even if you were to remove that 20%, these are very affordable. I mean, look, some of these other ones like Afton Oaks, that's one of the nicest neighborhoods in Houston.
Yeah.
215,000 household income gets you into Afton Oaks, you know. Medical Center. Medical Center is outrageously cheap, but I guarantee it's because of all the really, really bad houses in the neighborhood surrounding there. But that's only 43,000 household income, and like I said, I can almost guarantee you that includes some of those rough areas that are right
Yeah, it
along Old
definitely
Spanish
does.
Trail.
I mean, that's right by 288. There's definitely some stuff out there. The one that was pretty crazy to me was Bel Air. To live in
Yes.
Bel Air, they're saying 255.
Yeah, and Westview is 310.
That's all you have to make per year so you can live there.
Yeah, Westview actually I found to be kind of expensive compared to what I thought, because I didn't think houses were that expensive in Westview. I knew that the prices were high. I knew they were $1 million houses, but I didn't realize that they were up to that price point. This was actually pretty surprising. We'll link this down there so everyone can take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll drop a link
independently
below
on
here
their
just
own.
a second, you guys, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me know if you guys think this is true or not, because I didn't actually believe any of this.
Yeah, it
But
was
you
very
never know.
surprising.
Anyways, we're gonna take a quick short break, and we'll be right back.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
We are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. Again, that's at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us on YouTube live as well as Facebook and comment live on the show. We can answer your questions and we can have a conversation with you. Now, so we were talking about some of Houston's nicer neighborhoods, and I actually want to jump out of that conversation for a little bit.
I can tie it in because we were talking about what it takes for you to make on an annual basis household income to live in Houston's nicest neighborhoods. And it turns out that the FLSA, right, is getting ready to bump up the minimum salary for all salaried employees.
Well, see, no, it's actually, that's a misrepresentation. So what exactly it is the FLSA is the Federal Labor Standards Act, right? And it basically determines how employees are looked at, whether they're classified as employees, whether they're classified as independent contractors. Do you need to pay them overtime? Do you not need to pay them overtime? And if you're out there and you're employing anybody, you need to be very aware of all of these rules. Because what will happen is you'll be a business owner, right? And let's say you're a small business owner. You go out and you hire somebody, you put them on a salary, and you make the assumption, because you've heard it somewhere else before, that you don't have to pay them overtime, right? So this person works for you. Let's say they work for you 2 or 3 years. They get disgruntled at some point. They leave, and they go find a lawyer that's a labor lawyer, labor law, and then all of a sudden you've got a lawsuit against you for overtime wages that weren't paid. And that's where this comes into play, because one of the requirements before was that an employee had to make a minimum of about $27,000. I've got the exact number here. It used to be 23,660, and which means that the employee had to make a minimum of $455 per week in order for them to not be qualified for overtime. So as long as you salaried them for that amount, you didn't have to pay overtime. Now, that was okay because most people hit those numbers. You know, I think I read somewhere that it was like 85% of all employees that were salaried were at those numbers. Unfortunately, though, or fortunately, it depends which side of the coin that you're on
Depends which
there.
side you're on, whether you're the one being hired or doing the hiring.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This
So,
will affect both ends of the coin here.
big time, because what's going to happen, and you got to remember, not everyone, and what I mean by everyone, not every employee is aware of all of these laws.
Yeah.
But what you have to be afraid of is the attorneys that are out there
Yeah.
constantly going after these people and saying, did you get paid overtime?
Oh,
The same thing as all the billboards you see with personal injury,
Yep.
things like that. Guess what? There's a whole nother set of attorneys that are labor law,
Yeah.
and all they do is wait for disgruntled employees.
That's right.
And they look for these disgruntled employees, and they go and they say, hey, did you get paid your overtime?
Yeah.
Let's figure out.
Because if you didn't,
Exactly.
you have a nice lawsuit there, and now your employer is going to be in trouble for that.
Exactly. And so now an employer, they're going to have to raise from the 23,660.
Check this out, guys. This is a huge number.
Oh,
This is a
yeah,
huge
this is
increase.
a big change because now, in order for you not to qualify for overtime, you have to salary your employees at least $47,476 annually, which breaks down to they need to be making $913 per week in order to not fall under the overtime requirements.
So congratulations. If you guys are still working a 9 to 5 and aren't making this amount, we just got you a raise.
yeah, well,
We just told you about how to get one at least.
yeah, well, you now know how that if your employer says you're not going to get paid for your overtime. This is one way you can say, well, no, I'm not making the minimum salary
You need to,
requirement
you need
for
to
the
walk
overtime
in with
pay.
this report and say, hey, by the way, FLSA says I have to make this amount, or you have to pay me overtime,
Yeah, absolutely.
or I'm going to contact an attorney and you're going to be in some trouble.
Well, and this is real common in like retail. So like shopping malls, things like that, they'll salary the employee and then say, okay, well, you're not eligible for overtime pay. So you
Because
actually,
you're salaried.
rather than work 40 hours, we're going to require you to work 52 hours per week. I've actually seen that firsthand
yeah.
from people that I know that they work as assistant managers, Now, one of the things is you actually become exempt when you start doing administrative tasks and like managerial. So assistant managers usually won't fall under that qualification for having to be paid overtime because you have to meet all three requirements. So you have to not be being paid the minimum salary. You have to, there's a whole list of the
Whole
other
slew of
ones.
things.
Yeah.
By the way, we'll post the report here below shortly, just so you guys can read it and take a look at it. But if you're out there, obviously, if you fall within that rule, it's probably time for you to talk to your employer. And if you're an employer, make sure you guys know this stuff because this can get you in a lot of trouble. We've actually been in and out of some of these situations, not only with employees that we've had, but also with with ourselves when we were leaving our jobs, our jobs, and getting ready to start our business. This was something that actually affected us, and we ended up having to talk to these type of attorneys and figure out how we could do certain things. So I can't tell you guys much more. BB's giving me the eye, but I got to tell you, this is an important part of owning a business. If you guys are out there and hiring and firing, you have to know these kind of things. This is essential to staying away and staying out of trouble. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they're saying that this is not the first one. So this is 2016. You have until the end of the year to be in it. So they put a 200-day grace period. Basically, the grace period is for you to go and talk to your attorney and say, do I need to raise these salaries or not, right? So if you're out there and you have employees, guys, this is something you really need to go look at. And I'm not talking about you have to have 10 employees, 15 employees, 20 employees. This can be your one single employee that you have hired. If they are a salary employee, you need to go and look at these laws.
That's right.
Are you going to fall under these laws? And do you owe these people overtime? And if you feel like you don't, then make sure you're covering yourself on the other side. Because believe it or not, it is the employer's responsibility, not the employees, to prove that overtime was due or not due and that it was paid or not paid. So if you're the employer, you need to be protecting yourself with this information.
Without a doubt. Now, if for some reason someone is out there and has gotten fired recently. I mean, is there somewhere they can go to? Is there someone they can talk to, or is there just, are these attorneys just going to reach out to them naturally?
No, well, I mean, they do need to make the effort to go out and find a labor attorney, a labor law attorney. If you got to remember, guys, we're talking about people suing their companies, working up in like $300,000, $400,000 jobs. And that's how all of this comes to play for big time money for lawyers.
Yeah.
Your small salary job at like a retail store or a fast food chain, grocery store, no attorney's
They're
going to
probably
be
not going to owe you enough money to actually take on a case like that.
exactly. And so you're going to have to actually reach out to the attorneys. They may or may not take a case on a contingency. Who knows? Because it's not a lot of money we're talking about. And you have to also keep track of the hours that you weren't paid.
Yeah.
So on the other side of the coin, if you're the employee and you didn't keep track of all of those hours, well, then you really have no recourse, because you have to be able to show these are the hours that I worked, these are the hours that I wasn't paid overtime for, and then these are the damages that I'm owed. And those are all things you need to speak with an attorney about. The important thing to know is that the laws are changing.
Yeah.
And not only that, but by 2020, they're going to be increasing that potentially from the 46, 47, all the way up to 51,000. So we're talking about an increase of more than doubling that salary basis by the year 2020. That's a major, major change, and it's going to affect
crazy.
a lot of employers.
We were worried about government coming in and raising the minimum hourly wage to $15 an hour.
Yeah.
And as business owners, you worry about that a little bit, because your administrative staff, that's generally where you have the most employees. And if that gets bumped up to a point where you can't afford it, then you have to let people go.
Yeah, or cut hours.
Or
yeah.
cut hours, which affects everyone. But
Yeah.
now, I mean, essentially they're doing it for the salary people too.
Well, it's a salary basis. Yeah, I mean, they're raising it, so it's not raising minimum wage, but it's saying if you don't pay your employees, and essentially when you look at it, 42,000 is over $15 an hour. So they're basically saying if you're not paying your employees more than this number, then they're going to be eligible for overtime as long as they don't get exempt under something else.
Yeah.
But they're more than likely going to be eligible for overtime. So you better increase their wages if you don't want them to be eligible for overtime.
Exactly.
It's a really big deal. This is going to affect, and this is federal. This isn't state, So this is everyone in the country is going to be affected by this coming 2020 or 2016 to the end of 2016, beginning of 2017. And I'll be interested to see how many people are going to be filing lawsuits against employers come around March, April of next year, employers who fail to meet those guidelines so far. And I think the people that are really going to be struggling is big business who has lots of salaried employees.
Yeah.
People who've got like 20 or 30 salaried employees.
Yeah.
Oh,
and all
man,
of a sudden now they got to double all the salaries.
Oh
off
yeah,
them.
or start paying overtime.
Yeah.
And overtime's expensive. It's time and a half.
Yeah.
So if you bring somebody in on a Saturday, that's time and a half. You keep them there after normal work hours, and they're over their 40, that's time and a half. So that $12 an hour now becomes $18 an hour. It adds up real quick when you have more than one employee. Even with one employee, it adds up quick.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about 20 or 30 or 500, that's a really big increase. I think it's something that's going to have a huge effect on the economy overall.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And speaking of the economy, with everyone right now that's hurting for a job, a lot of it has to do right now in Houston with the oil. What's happening with the oil business? And I see it like nowadays. First of all, if you look at the energy corridor, do you remember like 2 years ago or even a year ago, energy corridor booming, houses were selling super fast, everything was just skyrocketing on days on market. Now it's a little different. Have you noticed there's a change that's happening out in that area?
Oh yeah, everything is slowing down again. And it doesn't help that the oil campuses that were out there are moving back towards downtown. They're trying to get into smaller buildings that they already have good leases on or that they can afford, because those companies are struggling now too.
What do you think all the oil people, all the oil employees that no longer have jobs, what do you think they're going to end up doing? Like, where do they end up going? Do they stay in the industry? Do they go somewhere else? What do you think they end up?
Well, see, that's what's really difficult, because I personally know a lot of people that are in the oil industry that have been laid off.
Yeah.
I know people that are, here's the thing, it's not only young people being laid off. It's people all the way from, I want to say 22, basically college. I just graduated, I got the job and I got laid off. And then I know people that have been working for companies for over 20 years that were laid off. And so they're out of jobs now, and they've worked in that industry for 20, 25 years. They're coming out and they're saying, okay, well, let me look for another job. I met a guy the other day. I was at a bar and I was talking to this guy, and he told me that he'd gone to over 250 interviews, and that every single interview, he used to be an executive for a company, and he was laid off when the company had to shut down, so he was laid off. And he went to over 250 interviews, and he said everybody told him, sorry, you're overqualified, we can't afford you.
Yeah.
So people like that,
Can you imagine going
this
to
guy,
250 interviews?
he went from
That's got to be your full-time job.
he went from being an oil executive. Do you want to know what he's doing right now?
What is he doing?
You're going to be shocked.
I don't know.
He went
Car
from
sales, maybe?
He's no retail. He's
Retail.
working retail, making $14 an hour retail.
No.
Yeah, $14 an hour plus commissions. That's what he told us. And I was just stunned by that. I was thinking, wow, this is a guy who went from making about 250 to 300,000 plus his bonuses.
Yeah.
And now he's making $14 an hour plus commissions. And he even told me, he was like, hey, I'm having to sell off a lot of my stuff. He's like, I've got all these cars that I'm selling off. I'm thinking about selling my house and downgrading, because he's got a huge house with like 5-car garage. And he's like, I can't afford it anymore. I got to find something else to do. But I didn't have any other skills. The only skills I have is I know about this stuff that I'm selling, because that used to be my hobby. So we're talking about one of his hobbies now became his job, because that was the only other skill he had. And there is not enough jobs in oil. And that's happening all across the board. I know guys with PhDs in chemical engineering that can't find a job right now.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's really sad, and we'll see how it happens. Hopefully, all those predictors that we looked at last week on the show are right, and in 2016, we don't completely fall off the map, and we're able to recover. But right now, it's not looking pretty. It's not looking good.
Definitely not. And you know what's crazy is I've been to these national conventions the last few weeks, and everyone is talking about a bust of some sort here in the next year and a half or 2 years.
Yeah, the bubble's going to burst.
Everyone's preparing for foreclosures coming to the market, and this real estate, doomsday. But I mean, who knows? People have been saying that for years now. We've still yet to see it. Anyway, we got to keep talking. We're going to take a quick little break, but when we come back, did you guys realize that the flood maps had changed?
Yeah,
Had you guys looked
completely
into
updated
that?
now. The flood maps.
I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about that, what that does, how that affects us as realtors, investors, and if you haven't actually looked into it, it's time for you to do it. I'll drop a link below. We'll be right back.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can always live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live as well. And if you comment on there, we can answer your questions live on the air. Today we're talking about a slew of different topics. We just kind of want to jump around and things that are important in the news. But one thing is, we came back from the NARIP event a couple of weeks ago, and one of the realtors there, I went to their presentation, and he brought up this website that I wasn't aware of. Maybe some of you guys out there and listeners were aware of it, but I didn't know this website existed. And it's actually a really cool website because what it does is it looks at all the federal IRS income filings, income tax filings, and then sees where money is going. So it says, okay, well, money was originally here in this state, and now it went over to this state. So this state lost money, GDP in this state gained money, right? And so obviously, if I had to tell you, take a guess, which way was Texas, up or down, what would you say?
Definitely down.
Okay, well, you'd be surprised then, because Texas is actually up 41.1 billion this year.
Texas as a whole.
As a whole, okay?
So not
Texas,
just Houston.
No. We're talking about Texas as a whole is actually up
We're so
41.1
egocentric in Houston
billion.
that all we think about when we think of Texas is Houston. That's so funny.
But what's interesting about this is that it lets you go even further. It lets you go down all the way to the county level. Okay, so you can look at all the different counties that are surrounding a city. You can look at just the city, and you can look at the counties. Now, this is what's going to be really interesting. So I want to just play a little game with you here.
All right,
because
let's play a game.
This is pretty
You guys always
interesting
get me on these
information.
games,
Okay.
and I don't even agree to participate in these. By
Yeah.
the way.
Well, if you
You
lose,
get me on the air on the spot as people are watching, and they're like, all right, we're gonna play a game, and you're gonna make bad guesses on everything. So let's do it.
all right. Here we go. Are we ready? Okay.
All right, let's do it.
So let's start off with an easy one. All
All
right.
right, give me an easy one.
We won't go with Houston first. We'll start off with Travis County, okay? Travis County, Austin. That's a nice small one. What would you say? Do you think Travis County increased or decreased last year?
In gross income,
This is in AGI, so this is adjusted gross income, yeah.
I would say Austin. I would say they increased.
Okay, yeah, so you'd be right there. They increased quite a bit. Can you take a guess on the amount of money that was increased by Austin?
Oh, I have no clue, man. I have no clue.
Yeah, so it was about $9 billion.
Billion?
In AGI, yeah, that Austin gained. Now, here's what's crazy. This is what's awesome about this website, and we'll post this link so other people can go play with this website too, because it is really interesting. What's interesting is that it tells you exactly where that money's coming from and the money that was lost, where it went to. Okay,
Yeah.
so
It
when
went
you
to keeping Austin weird.
well, no, the people that left, it looks like they went to just the surrounding counties. So it almost looks like they were going into the suburbs, right?
Okay.
So people weren't really leaving for another city. They were just moving out to the suburbs, the surrounding counties. It would be the same here as in Harris County, as if you looked at it and said, okay, well, Montgomery County, Fort Bend County.
Yeah.
It's people going to the suburbs.
out there.
Yeah, so that's kind of what
Which is
happened in
normal.
Austin. But what's interesting is all the counties that went into Travis County proper, which is where downtown Austin and Austin is mostly located, right?
Yeah.
They gained like crazy from some of the bigger cities. And I'm not going to tell you exactly which ones because I want to jump into and I want to look at where we live at right now, Harris County.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Harris County, what would you say? Do you think it increased or it decreased?
I'm pretty sure Harris County decreased.
Okay, so you're 100% right there. Hey, you're doing good on this one.
This is my first
I
time
wish this was
ever
a
doing well at one of
competition.
these. Had we done a bet on this, I think I may have won.
Yeah, you're not doing too bad at this one. So yes, Harris County is decreasing, and it's actually really interesting because it's decreasing quite a bit.
Yeah.
Can you take a guess at
I
how
thought we
much
were
it's
in debt.
decreased?
I thought last time I read, I thought we were actually going into debt.
Yeah, well, we're in debt in that sense, but remember, this is gross income.
Got it.
So this is what people are making. This is not actually how much money is going to the county itself.
Okay, I got it.
This is
I
how
got
much money the people in the county are
how
making.
How much did we decrease?
Yeah, how much less money did we make now this year?
I'm going to say $2 billion.
It's actually a lot higher than that.
A lot?
We're in the $10 billion range.
We made less.
We lost $10
by
billion
$10
in wealth.
billion?
Yeah, we lost $10 billion in wealth here in Houston over the last year.
Dude, that's a huge number.
Oh, it's incredible. That's that. Not Houston, sorry, Harris County, right?
Imagine how many tacos we could buy with that number. I mean, come on.
Well, this is what's crazy. Okay, so 4.59 billion of that. Do you know where it went?
How much? Where?
Fort Bend County.
Really?
Yep. So that means people right now are migrating out into basically Sugarland, Missouri City, that whole area that's Fort Bend County. Now, what does that mean for you if you're a realtor? And what does that mean for you if you're a real estate investor? You see $4.59 billion moving from
Into
Harris
Fort Bend.
County into Fort Bend County. Well, does that mean I should go do some activity there, or should
Yeah,
I stay away
probably.
from it? Yeah. No, I want to definitely start going out there. And if I'm a realtor, I should start focusing on that area, because that means there's a lot of buyers that are moving over there and are going to need housing, right?
Right.
$4.59 billion, over half of the money that Harris County lost, or close to half of the money that Harris County lost, went to Fort Bend County alone. Okay, that's massive.
Yeah.
And that shows you how much growth Sugarland has right now at the current moment. Okay, now the second biggest county that gained from Harris County losing, what would you think it was?
I don't know.
I'll tell you, it's one of the 5 big counties.
Okay. Give me another hint. Can I call
Up
can I
north.
call a friend?
Call a friend. You can call Brandon if you want.
Can I call a Brandon? Montgomery.
Montgomery County, 100%
Ding,
right.
ding, ding.
Actually, $3.3 billion went from Harris out to Montgomery County. Okay.
So Harris took a loss of $10 billion.
Harris took a loss of $10 billion.
5 of them go to
Fort Bend.
and 3 of them go to Montgomery.
Montgomery. Yeah. So if you're out there and you're in those, if you're on the cusp of those areas, you know, and you're between Harris and Montgomery,
And you got to make a decision on where to put an office at,
or where to market to,
where to go out and buy houses or invest in, or where to go try to find some people to sell their houses and sell it for them if you're a realtor.
oh yeah.
You may want to be in some of these areas.
Well, and that's what, at first when they showed this website, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but I don't really understand how to use the data.
Yeah.
And so before I finish explaining, I just want to go Montgomery and then Brazoria County gained 1.45 billion, which is still a lot. I mean, it's still a really high number. Then you have Galveston County. So all of the surrounding counties here, people are leaving Harris and going out to the suburbs, which actually goes with everything else that we've looked at.
Yeah.
Millennials like to move out to the suburbs because they can't afford to live in the inner city,
That's right.
and you get more bang for your buck out in the suburbs. And that's what the data is telling us. This is all government data right here.
Yeah.
And then this is the one that really blew me away. $868 million went to Travis County and Austin. So people from Harris
Are moving to Austin.
packing up and moving out to Austin.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
that
can see
interesting?
I can see that because we talk about it all the time.
Oh yeah, man.
We're like, Austin is so awesome. Let's go out there. You know what I mean? We always talk about that.
Yeah.
You go to ACL every year.
Yeah, no, I love ACL. Like ACL weekend 1 just passed. ACL weekend 2 is coming up. I've got tickets for weekend 2.
Of course, this guy would. If you guys want to see BB in his primal stage,
in my primal form.
you can catch him at ACL this weekend.
So, well, what's interesting, and I was saying, I didn't understand his data. I didn't understand how to use it until I was listening to David Acosta, which is one of the top realtors in the country. I think he's in the top 5 with NAREP, and he's like in the top 10 just realtors in general across the country.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy doing hundreds of million in volume every year. And and he was talking about his business because he's got multiple offices, right?
Yeah.
And he was saying what he does is he looks at these maps and he looks for areas that are just crazy hot. Everyone is moving to this area, or a lot of people are leaving. It depends what the goal is there.
Yeah.
But he'll set up offices there with the knowing that these are not permanent offices. These are offices that are there to milk the fact that people are flooding into a city right now to help people find those houses, really capitalize on that. And then when it slows down, that's fine. It's time to close that office and find the next place to go to. And I thought, oh my God, man, that's
Opportunistic.
genius.
Genius.
Oh
at the
yeah.
same time.
Yeah, that's so opportunistic. I mean, everyone else, we fight for our territory within like the city
Yeah.
that we love. You know, like in Houston, we're like, we want to take Sharpstown, and
Yeah.
some people are like, I've got Galleria, and we have these territories,
Yeah,
right? And
right.
you become the area realtor. Well, he doesn't care about that.
Yeah.
He cares about looking for places where money is traveling to. And so for anyone who's interested, this website is called howmoneywalks.com. And it's
Here, I'll drop
literally
it down below.
Yeah, it's literally walks like money is walking away, and it's walking from somewhere to another place. And this is some super important data. Even if you're a real estate investor, right now, I would actually be looking over in the Sugar Land area, Fort Bend area, if I'm a real estate investor. It may not be the area that I specialize in, but when I see this much money walking out of Harris and walking there, that means there's a lot of opportunity for housing in that area. $4.59 billion, guys. That's how much wealth left Harris County to go to Fort Bend. That is a massive number, you know? The other city in Texas that's actually hurting right now, can you take a guess what it is?
City in Texas that's hurting.
Yeah, city in Texas that's hurting right now. It's experiencing the same effects as Harris County.
I don't know. I might go with Woodlands. Is Woodlands doing all right?
Woodlands is actually doing all right. Woodlands is growing quite a bit. That's Montgomery County. It's actually Dallas County. And so we're talking about basically Dallas proper. They've lost also $10.77 billion. Now, what's interesting is that they're experiencing almost the same thing that we are. All of their money is moving out of the city and into the suburbs by billions of dollars at a time. So we have to start looking at this info. And if you're a realtor out there, make sure you get on the website. Make sure you take a look at it.
Maybe it's not about being the best realtor inside the loop anymore.
No, it's really about being the best realtor that knows where to chase down. Where's the money walking?
Where's the money going?
Yeah. So if you're out there and you're not using data like this, start using it. I can tell you, I didn't understand it, but once you look at it for a little bit, it'll come to you and you'll get it.
Yes.
And you'll be like, that
and
totally
remember
makes
who brought
sense.
it to you, by the way. You heard it here.
You heard it first on the Ruckus.
Anyways, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, guys, when we come back, we're going to talk about Taco Tuesday and the #1 taco place in Houston with 52 demerits that you want to avoid
guys are
today.
Be so sad when you hear this.
You will be depressed when you hear it. Coming up after the break.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service and an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us your favorite Taco Tuesday locations at Realty Ruckus. You can also give us your suggestions on Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live. You can comment and tell us where you like to eat tacos, because we're going to tell you right now where we used to like to eat tacos.
I actually want to know what your favorite Taco Tuesday spot is.
Ooh, hey man, you don't want to know my favorite Taco Tuesday spot.
What about you guys? You guys that are out there watching, if you guys have a suggestion on where we can swing by and pick up some amazing tacos for Taco Tuesday, we want to know, and we want to join you.
Yeah, we want to know, where are our viewers going to go eat tacos?
Yes.
So that we can join them and eat some tacos with our viewers.
We want to join forces and eat tacos today. But I want to tell you, we've lived in Houston all of our lives, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
right? And so one of the places that when you're from Houston, you should eat tacos at is in the north part of town, the north side, otherwise known as the north side.
Yeah.
And when you're a real Houstonian, this is where you go, late at night after you've maybe gone to the bar for a little while, and this is where you go out there and you hang out and you grab a taco from this taco truck. And the place used to be really, really scary at night. Now it's not that bad.
Well, they
It's
put the
all
light rail
right.
in front of it.
Yeah.
They clean it up a little bit, but the funeral home is still right across the street.
Yeah, and then there's that little park down the street.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
quite a few bums that hang out there.
Well,
at
that's where
night.
they had the riots back in the, I believe it was in the 80s. They had the riots up there at that park in Moody Park. It's Moody Park.
Moody
yeah.
Park.
Yeah, you can look it up online. The Moody Park riots. For any of you who didn't know that happened, Houston actually had riots, and they were pretty bad. The Moody Park riots. So, the taco truck up there, some Hispanics call it tacos de la muerte because the tacos are across the street. And after seeing all these health report violations, I'm not so convinced that they're not tacos de la muerte anymore. But the place is El Taconazo.
Okay, so you guys know that if you've never been here, it's time for you to go try it. Just don't go out there and try the water because according to Houston restaurants, what's the name of it? It's a report on Chronicle.com, Houston Restaurant Weeks. It has been decided that the water there is unsafe for human consumption.
Yeah, I know.
How sad is that?
I'm so guilty of always getting the cup of water. I'm going to start getting the can of Coke.
Yeah. So make sure you guys, be careful when you're going out there. There's a couple other restaurants on here, and see, that's the thing. We're big food nerds, so we're always going out and trying new places. And there's a new trend happening now. It happened in Austin first. Now we're seeing it a lot here in Houston with the little food trucks. Right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
some of them are really, really popular and have amazing food.
But you know what, man? I've experienced from those food trucks some stomach issues, after I eat there. And I'm looking through this list, and for example, number 2 on here with 73 demerits,
Yeah.
they actually found the beef was 84.5 degrees, guys. That's that's hotter than room temperature.
Yeah.
So it means it's just rotting away. The chicken was at 75 degrees, which is hotter than most room temperature. And they also found that they maintained other things at potentially hazardous temperatures. So you're basically eating raw food if you eat there, and it's rotted a little bit. And this is a halal food truck that sells kebabs and stuff, and it's called Abu Omar Halal.
And it's right on Westheimer, so you can't miss it. I'm pretty sure you've driven by this thing a million times. Next time you drive by it, keep going.
Yeah, guys.
Don't stop.
And it's not just the food trucks. It's some of the best restaurants that people really love.
Yeah.
If you've eaten at Just Mac on Westheimer, well, guess what? They had 26 demerits, okay? And it says that they were not in compliance with the food ordinance. They didn't even have their food permit.
Yeah.
These are people running without a food permit
What's
over
the
there.
deal? What's the big deal? It's just Mac.
It's just mac and cheese. How bad can it be for you? But what about those of you who like to go out to Lucky's Pub? And this is
Yeah.
not the one on Emmanuel. This is the one, on Houston Avenue. Houston Avenue's Lucky's Pub.
Everyone's been to Lucky's Pub because you drive by this place all the time.
Yeah, and let me guess. When you go out there, you get the big juicy cheeseburger, right? Well, they condemned 2 pounds of their cheese because they weren't being kept at temperatures that were okay. And they had hazardous food that was being kept at 41 degrees or higher and should have been freezing.
I love how this report just put quarantined at the end, like in big bold letters. So definitely be careful when you're ordering the burgers over there at Lucky's, guys. There's some other ones on here that probably I've never heard of, but the one I have been to, and I'm pretty sure you've been here too, Thai Gourmet on Richmond.
Yes, I have.
It's a nice little kind of hidden little gem, and I used to think it was amazing. Now I'm a little bit afraid to go out there.
Well, for all my Heights people, and I know that y'all have probably been there, the Yale Street Grill. It's right off of Yale Street. They got little sandwiches and stuff there. 18 demerits, guys. Cloth towels were being used to prevent spillage, and that they were molded and mildewed.
Oh, man.
They were continued to use towels after they were dirty. They would just reuse the same dirty towels. I mean, this sounds horrible.
Yeah.
This is disgusting.
Why would you ever go here?
Man, you guys have to check this out because there's so many on here.
Yeah.
The California Pizza Kitchen at Memorial
That's
City
at
Mall.
Memorial City Mall.
Yeah, that's the one in Memorial City Mall. I'm sure that some of you have eaten there. You've
We all
probably
have.
taken your kids there.
We
to
all
get some
have.
pizza.
We've all eaten there.
I mean, this is the list just
How
goes
many
on
demerits
and
did
on
they
and
get?
on.
They got a bunch. 17 demerits.
Oh my gosh, 17 demerits there. That's pretty awful. Yeah, some of these other ones, like a Wendy's, and I see a Sonic on here. Just make sure it's not your favorite Wendy's or Sonic. And some of these other ones, they look like they deserve their demerits. Like their buildings are falling apart. But the ones that really surprise me are those bigger, nicer restaurants. You know?
Definitely. You figure they'd have it all together.
So these are the repeat offenders. So these are the people that have made the list multiple times now, guys. Church's Chicken on Cullen. So if you're a fan of Church's Chicken on Cullen, you're probably also a fan of indigestion.
Church's Chicken.
Oh, well, here's another
twice.
one. Church's Chicken on North Freeway, guys. I would just probably stay away from Church's Chicken. Oh, there's another one, Church's Chicken. Yes,
Oh, that's
the one on
gross.
TC Jester.
Four.
Oh,
Click
four.
on the next
There's-
one.
Oh my God, the next one is Church's Chicken too. Holy cow! Yes,
The fifth
guys.
one is Hertz Chicken Buffet. I've heard of people going over there.
Yeah, I know people who eat there. You've got Jack in the Box on here, the one on Shepherd, which I know that's a Munchie's favorite for people. The Sonic on Washington, that's also
That one
a
gets
favorite.
a lot of traffic.
Yeah, that one got demerits. It's a repeat offender. CC's Pizza in Kingwood. So if you eat at CC's Pizza in Kingwood, you take your kids there after the football games.
Careful.
Don't. Now you know why they don't feel so good that night. Why they got that stomach ache. Most of these are just little fast food places. Denny's. Oh, Brewings. Here's Brewings on a North Freeway.
Yep.
So if you enjoy your chicken wings there, you might want to watch out for a little bit. They're repeat offenders. And then James Coney Island on Hollister. See, I'm a big hot dog fan. Well, I used to be at least.
BB was the hot dog boy growing up, just so you guys know. He didn't want me to tell you guys that, but
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing,
It's the
but-
truth. He was known as hot dog boy because every time we went out to go anywhere, it could be anywhere, the first thing he would ask for was a hot dog.
That's very true. It was always, what do you want to eat? And everyone else would be saying like, oh, Italian, or I want to eat a sandwich. And I'd be like, hot dogs.
Yeah, Chacho's on South
Oh,
Loop.
no.
Yeah, we've
man.
eaten there a bunch.
Wow, so they've been on
after
this list.
games and stuff.
They were on this list twice within a 3-week period. 16 demerits the first time, and instead of improving, they actually got 21 demerits
my
the
wife's
second
gonna
time.
hate me for this one. Aka Sushi.
Oh,
on
no.
West Alabama.
I love
I go
Aka
there all the
Sushi.
time. All the time.
So repeat offenders, they made the list in April, and they made the list in June also, and they made the most recent list. So they're 3 times this year already, operating without a food permit, keeping food at the wrong temperatures. Guys, raw sushi, that's not something you want to be eating at the wrong
man.
temperature. Just stay away,
I
guys.
used to love this place.
Man, wait. I can't believe this one made the list, okay? The French Corner, right there on Old Spanish Trail.
Yep.
Really good breakfast spot. They made the list 3 times now. 15 demerits, 12 demerits, repeat offenders. Guys, make sure you know where you're eating. Make sure that they weren't on the health violation list. If your stomach hurts afterwards, chances
you know
are
why.
that this is the reason why.
Oh, here's another one. Here's another one I bet you we've all been to. House of Pies on Westheimer.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How many demerits? That's a repeat offender?
Repeat offender. The last demerit was 22 demerits.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
man.
it's pretty bad.
That's really bad because I know a lot of people who love eating there. Hey,
we used to go
my
there
boy,
all the
my
time.
boy Noe loves to eat there like
Yeah.
at 3 a.m. Hey, Noe, watch out, man! Don't eat there
Don't
anymore.
eat there anymore, Noe. Seriously, man. Wow. Anyway, we're going to drop this list down below so you guys can check it out. We got a great week lined up. We got events coming up. We're going to drop more information on those events coming up. What events do we have for sure? For sure, we have our White Picket Realty Happy Hour.
That's next week, next Tuesday, guys, and we're
If
gonna
you
have
guys
some
haven't reserved
really.
your tickets, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing we want is everyone to have their reservation to make the check-in process a lot faster.
Yeah.
It takes a really long time to check people in. People can't get in and get their networking on when you're not pre-registered. So just make sure you pre-register. It allows us to one-click, boom, and you're in, and it makes it a lot easier for us. And we're also going to have some really cool setups there. We're going to be having some games, setting up for some world records in case people want to try beating some world
we're
records.
We're going to be trying to beat a couple of world records this happy hour. So
Yeah.
if you've ever wanted to set a world record, this is the time for you to come out and see what you can do. So,
It's going to be a ton of fun. And then this Wednesday is also the Jet Lending event. And remember, it's no longer at the Texans Bar and Grill. It is now at the Redneck Country Club, which is located right off of West Belfort. Or is it West Airport? West Airport, I'm sorry. It's the West Belfort exit off of 59. You make a left right there. It's a beautiful place, the Redneck Country Club. They completely remodeled what used to be an old sports bar and grill, and it's amazing. I know that they get like 500 to 600 people there. They have live music. The last one had great reviews. You'll meet a lot of people, so I highly recommend that people go to that event.
Yeah, it's a great event. It's a lot of good networking happens at these events, guys, and that's what it's all about. I mean, the reason why these events are set up to begin with is so that you have the exposure to other people that are doing the same thing you are. You can ask the questions, or you can just find a way to work together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I know so many people that actually have either found partners for deals, or even some people have met their future business partners there.
Yeah.
So networking is super important. You want to make sure and get out and do it. Come to the events. Make sure you set the date. Don't forget to put it on your calendar. October 11th, the White Picket Happy Hour. It's our last one of the year. And are we doing the costumes or not?
I don't know. We didn't have enough votes last time. We said if we got 5 votes, we would do costumes.
Okay. Well, we'll wait until Friday's show to decide. We still have time.
We'll do another round of voting until we get 5 votes.
There you go. Yeah. Well, we need 5 votes because I want people to wear costumes. I'd like to be Rocky Balboa again.
Yes.
That was a very
If you guys didn't catch
exciting
Rocky Balboa at
experience
White
for me.
Picket Realty, look through my news feed below and enjoy, because I've laughed at this video at least a good 50 times by
Man,
now.
I've seen that video 10 times. And one, I can't even believe it's me.
Yeah, I know.
And two, because I actually look like Rocky Balboa.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Guys, thanks so much for listening to The Ruckus. We'll catch you back on Friday, 10 a.m. And make sure you put that on the calendar. Next Tuesday, October 11th, our happy hour. Anything else?
That's it. We'll see you then. Have a great rest of your week.
Take care, guys.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.